Okay, let's go one module to the left, the designer. And this is an important component because we use it for multiple purposes. Now, from the in the software, all of the stocks, ETFs, indexes, and so on are up here in what we call the HGS reference groups. The manila envelope with the little icon, it's a green, red, and yellow icon, indicates data which comes from the vendor, and this cannot be altered. But if you want to alter, you can just work down here with user groups. Now, the next level are what we call smart groups. These are groups that are generated by a combination of filters and combo rankings. The ones that I'm involved with are here in the Ian Woodward and Ron Brown folder. Ian was my partner. Unfortunately, he passed away about 9 months ago, but we've just left this folder named with Ian's name on there. But you can see that there are a lot of groups here. And if I just go into some of these, I'll just go down here, stocks and groups, moving to the upside, and I'll make this a full screen. There is a list here of 100 stocks plus an index of stocks that moved to the upside yesterday, stocks or groups. And every day these smart groups are updated. You can see the date is March 30th, 17. That is the last data which was available. Now, I'm not going to get into what these do right now. A lot of them are self-explanatory. Here is a leaders group, HGS 100. These are stocks. I'll tell you a little bit about this. They have to have at least C accumulation, and they are some of the leading stocks in the database. There are some well-known names in here. I believe on some of these smart groups, but not all of them. If you right mouse click, and sorry, let me go back to this one and go to group properties, there will be a short description in here. These have an ROE of at least 15, and it tells you what these groups do. Now, some groups have been added since I put those descriptions in years ago, but like I said, some of these or most of these are self-explanatory. Now, it's not just my groups and Ian's groups. There are other people involved here. You can see other names on here. There's Gil Morales and Chris Casher, Jeffrey Scott, David Ghilardi, Dave Steckler, Charles Kilpatrick, Larry Connors, and so on. These are smart groups which are generated using their filters and combo rankings. Now, this will all make more sense once I get into the warehouse. Now, looking a little closer here, it's not just individuals who have contributed. These are from HGSI. These are some popular ETF families under starters and popular stock categories. If you look down here, you'll see IPOs. These IPOs go back 6 months. And you can see that these stocks are broken out according to different categories. Now, if you want to create your own user groups, which you should and you will, they go down here. Now, these are my user groups that I put together over the years, and they serve a purpose. You can look through here, but I primarily use the Major Markets Plus. I call it the Major Markets Plus because it's full of major market indexes and also some ETFs, and it gives me a quick view of what's happening in the markets. Now, major market ETFs, ETF sectors, these are the broad market indices. I use this folder to go top down when I'm prospecting from the top down, and also these are some focus views. These are indexes that have no more than 100 stocks in them. These are sectors by stock, and these are the industry groups, the same industry groups and sectors that are up here in the reference groups. Now, if you want to make your own user group, you just click on the top folder, and then you can click up here to add a group, or you can right mouse click here to add a group right here. You can also drag a group down here, down or up. It doesn't matter. If you want to use one of my groups, you can just drag it up to the top layer. Let's say you want to look at Morales and Casher. You want to keep this date, the 30th of March. So I just drag it down here. I do not need to make an index, and it'll be down here, and it'll contain this, and these will not be updated from the 30th. So if you did that, you'd probably want to put the date in here just by clicking on that and 03/30-2017, and then you would have this group which is retained. Now, one thing you may want to do, rather than these indexes being updated every time, you may want to right mouse click on this group and click the group subfolder index options and say no index for this group, and that will prevent these indexes from being updated every day unless you want to see them. So these are just little tricks that you learn as you go along. Now, if you want to get rid of a group, I suggest you close the other modules because they delete faster. You just click on it and go up here to the X, and it is deleting that user group and the subgroups. When I am deleting groups and maintaining my database, I always make sure that the warehouse is closed, and generally I like to close the charting module too. The warehouse and the ranking module are closed because everything's interrelated, and it's just much faster and much easier to delete groups if you're only working with the designer. Now, going up here to the top, if you look under the File menu, you can see that there are a lot of things here. Many of them you'll never use. You should just look through here and see if anything catches your eye. And if you have questions or if you can't figure it out, send us an email. But most of the information is in your help file. The first place you should look for information is up here under Help. Go to the table of contents and do a search. Now, moving over here to the right, you can see that under Tools, you can go to the other modules. You can update the intraday data by clicking on F5. You can build indexes, build all indexes, rebuild indexes in a group, which is very helpful intraday if you're looking at a group and you want to rebuild the indexes based upon the delayed data. This is a duplicate of what I showed you in the menu. GPA is something we use a lot. This is a group performance analysis. It's also located right up here, and if you click on that, you can go in and run predefined scans against the stock database. So if I click on Load Selection, let's see what comes up. It takes me to my user folders, and the folder you're looking for is the WBGSEL. And the one we use every day is the Top 50 Group Inclusion Report with groups. So I'm going to open that. I have selected that. I'll click on Open. And what it's doing, it's loading a bunch of these smart groups that I pointed out. These are smart groups that I've selected. I've been doing this process probably about 3 years now, and I'm just going to go ahead and make a group from this, and I'm going to limit it to 50 stocks, which is what I do every day. What I do is date it. So 2017-03-30, top 50 GIR for the group inclusion report. I put it under a subgroup, but in this instance I'll just put it under user groups. I'll click on OK, and then I have to go back up here to my user folder and click on reports, and nothing's in here. This is a new installation, so I just use the word GIR for group. This creates an HTML document. You save that, And what it's going to do, it's going to pull up, it's going to create a group, and at the same time it creates an HTML file in a web browser, and it shows you the number of times that a stock has appeared in the smart groups. Now these 50 stocks are stocks that are primary in my selection and prospecting list nearly every day. You can see there are some well-known names in here. You can see the symbol, the company, the number of times that it's appeared in a group. You can see what group it's in, and all of the smart groups that it appeared in on the 30th of March 2017. That also puts it in the group. Here's the group, and from here I'm not going to talk about these other icons because I rarely use them, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip through to the next module, which is the warehouse module, and I'll begin the next video here.